Hi Year 6, I'm Mr. Bagran. Seeing as we're not able to have a transition day or an induction day, we decided we'd do a virtual tour. This is where you will enter when you start with us. If you're getting dropped off by a car, we'd like you to get dropped at the end of the road, so there's no congestion around here. Also, you can cycle in and we have bike sheds over there, which we may see later. So there is the bike shed we spoke about, where you can lock your bikes up. When you come in, that opens just before the day ends, so you can get it to take home. To our left over here, we have the social sciences block, where we have business studies and whatnot. And then we also have our St. Nick's building here, which is where we house our maths, science classrooms, art and technology. Right guys, these steps lead down to our St. Mary's building, and in there we have our library, our canteen, and our St. Mary's hall. We also have English, music, drama. Right, so guys, this is our canteen. We have two main areas here. As you can see there, that is our serving for hot food. And then obviously the tables and chairs are not up at the moment properly. And then over here, we have what we call our grab and go station, where you can just, here's what it says on the tin, you just grab something and then go. And we also have sandwiches and drinks that be in here. Right, this is where you can put money on your account to get lunch. So all you do is you put your thumb on here, your name will come up on this screen, and then you put in your £5 note, £10 note, £20 note in there. Your parents can also do it online. Okay, at the entrance to our canteen, we also have our learning support rooms, which are 6, 7 and 8, and some of you may go there to get more individualised support for some of your subjects. Right, so this is St. Mary's Hall. This is where some of our year groups have their assemblies, and we also have our school productions in here and any events. Right, so we're now in our library, which you can use at break, lunch and after school. I'm going to pass over to one of our current year 7 students, Josh, who's going to tell you a bit about how he uses it in school.
In our English lessons, we'll sometimes come down here and we'll go on computers to do bedrock or sit at the tables and read some books. Around there's loads of books with categories that you can read from, and we can come here before and after school to do some homework or just to read.
We're now going up to the first floor in St. Mary's building, where we hold our media and drama subject. So down this end of the corridor we have our drama rooms. Over this side we have our dark drama room, and the one we're going to go in is our light drama room. Right, so here we go. So this is our light drama room, which looks over our field. I'm going to pass over to our year 7 student Josh, who's going to tell you a bit about what he's done so far this year.
In drama we learn about things like key things to do when you're acting, like making sure that your voice is loud and making sure that the audience knows what you're talking about when you do hand gestures.
So along this corridor we display some of the work our media students have done. Okay, so we are now on the second floor of our St. Mary's building, where we have our English and music rooms.
This is one of our English classrooms where we study things like Macbeth. We had a theatre group come in and perform us a play, or many of plays, about Shakespeare.
Right, so down this end of the corridor we have our music rooms, which we're going and have a look at. So as you can see, as you enter, we have many stations which have keyboards in. And then towards this end of the room, we have some practice rooms, and you can see Josh, one of our year 7s in there, practicing and playing.
These are soundproof rooms where we could sometimes come in and practice things on the piano or the guitar. And sometimes we have clubs in music rooms, like playing on the guitar, playing on the piano, playing on the keyboard, etc.
So along this corridor we have what we refer to as our Yellow Brick Road. This corridor connects our St. Mary's building to our Dobson building, which is where we're about to go next. As we walk along here, we see a view of a lot of the school, so staff car parks and whatnot.
These are IT rooms, and we do things like coding on code.org, and one of my favourite lessons has been where we have got a computer, dismantled it, looked at all the parts inside and then put it back together.
Okay, so we're about to go into the balcony of our St Mary's Sportszone where we have our rowing machines and exercise bikes. We use this in our fitness modules for PE, so the students will come up here and do tasks, warm up for a bit, and then we may go on to tasks where we set the students a sprint task or an endurance task, or we also do activities and races with groups and relays.
Sometimes in PE lessons we may come up here and do some fitness. On the computers connected to the rowing machines, we can set relays and we can all race together.
So from the balcony you can see into our St Mary's main hall. This is where we do activities such as badminton, as you can see, and this is also where we do stuff like trampolining and gymnastics, which we have 2 clubs for, which are very popular. So we're just going down the stairs to the ground floor of the Dobson. We're going to go through to the Dobson Sports Hall. Right, so we're now going into our Dobson Sports Hall, which is our biggest sports hall, which we use for a lot of our PE lessons. We have Mr. Addison in here, playing a bit of basketball, and he's going to tell you a bit about what we do in PE and some of the extracurricular clubs that we do.
Hi there, I'm Mr. Addison, I'm head of boys PE, and at Haydon we do a massive range of sports from volleyball, badminton, all the way over to cricket and rounders. We also do some really fun camps. We have year 7 camp, year 8 camp, and in year 9 camp we will go to south of France. We've got loads of different places that we can do PE, just like this great sports hall, and we do extracurricular clubs every single day after school, so make sure you're there.
We use Dobson so that we can do PE lessons. We do basketball in here, and there's football goals that we can use. In most clubs, cricket clubs use the nets at the back to play cricket with.
So we're now in the bottom floor of our Dobson building, which hosts our humanities department. So in here we have our history, geography and REP lessons.
Behind me is the courts where we can hang out at break and lunch and play some table tennis, and through there is the boys' changing room with a sports hall above it.
So we are now in our St Nick's building. This is the first floor, which hosts our maths classrooms.
Behind me is a board that displays what we do in our maths topic. I particularly found graphs interesting.
Okay, so further down this corridor we have our sixth form centre over there, which you don't have to worry about too much at the moment. Down here we have our technology, which is our DT and textiles classrooms, which we'll go into. And then out here leads up to the quad, which just showed you previously. We have our stairs up to science, and we have our boys' change rooms for St Nick's. Okay, so we're going to walk into one of our textiles rooms. Okay, so in here we have on display some of the work students have done in their lessons. As you can see at the back, we have some of our sewing machines.
In textiles as year 7, you get to make things like pencil cases and learn how to set up sewing machines. In Woodtech, we learn how to use all these machines behind me, and we make shapes out of plastic. We cut them with saws, and we make clocks and key rings as well.
So now we're going up to the first floor of St Nick's, which is our science corridor. So we're now in science. At the beginning in science, you'll do a little introduction project where you learn about all the equipment and the safety aspects of lessons and when we're doing practicals. After you've completed that introduction project, then you will start to do physics, biology and chemistry, and you have opportunity to do a variety of different practicals.
Behind me is one of the food tech classrooms where we do cooking, and some of the things that we cooked were cheesy scones, burritos, and for our assessment we were allowed to choose anything to cook and make that, and we were graded on our presentation and how it tasted.
We're now in our Woods building where our art department is, and we're going to go and have a look in one of the rooms and see some of the work students have produced.
Great. In year 7, you do loads of different art projects. One of them is where we get cardboard sculptures and we design them and decorate them ourselves to make a cake. We study Wayne Thiebaud, who's the artist that does loads of sweets and cake drawings. So we do jungle scenes with animals and learning about foreground, midground and background.
So this is the undercroft. Down here we have a food point where you can grab some food at break or lunch. Also around we have some chairs and tables and some table tennis tables outside, so you can come down later and break and lunch and socialise with your friends and grab something to eat. Also from here, when you go away from the undercroft, you can see our huge playing field where we have a rugby pitch, we have a 7-a-side football pitch and 2 11-a-side football pitches down the bottom where we do some lessons. We also run our clubs after school.
Hola, bienvenido a Haydon.
So this is our languages block. In languages you have the opportunity to learn a variety of different languages such as French, Spanish, German and Italian. So here behind me we have our courts. We have 3 sets, there's 2 here and then 1 on the other side of the school, and you can use these 2 during break and lunch. Look forward to seeing you when you arrive here, and I hope you're all well.